Hi, my name is Abigail and I'm 12 years old. I'm going to talk about my story. The doctors told me that I had a brain swelling, so I couldn't remember anyone. How my story happened, I think I was going to a house. Me and my sister were so happy to go to that house and finally meet our new family. And then the night, I think, this started to happen and I hit my head in front of the hole and put my head in the water so I couldn't breathe. So also choked my sister. So I couldn't help her because I was down on the floor and I couldn't move my legs and my body was just shaking, so I couldn't stand up. And then my sister was screaming for help outside, and I think nobody did come, and people did also scream outside. I wanted to stand up and help my sister. So my sister told me everything is going to be fine, and I just have to lay there. I just touched my head, and there was a lot of blood on my head, I think. And my sister screamed for help also. So I think the next morning, so the social worker was coming, and everybody is gone. I can't remember what happened that night, I think, but I remember a little bit. So I did come to the hospital and I was memory loss. I didn't know anyone. I didn't even know what was my sister's name. So the doctor did say, I have a brain swelling and I don't have to be hard on it. I don't have to try to remember. Just have to get a little bit. And so the doctor told me everything is going to be fine. And I just have to count on myself. And when I tried to stand up, I couldn't move my legs. My whole body was dead, I think. I get fits every time and get a flashback, but I'm trying to be on it, and I hear voices in the night screaming over me. And sometimes I can't take it. So sometimes I cry when I hear these voices and screaming over me. It's a little bit very scary for me. I just trust in the Lord to be with me every night. So I didn't believe in him before because I thought everything that happened about him because he's supposed to help me and my sister. So I heard about people and people tell me to pray by St. Joseph's. So actually I didn't understand what they're saying and all that stuff, and I didn't want to believe in him because I know he is not there to help me now. So one night I just started to cry. And so I remember what that people told me to pray. So I prayed the night. I asked God be with me tonight because I don't want to hear these voices and it makes me very scary. So I prayed that night. So that night I didn't hear any voices. Welcome, Auntie Asgeree.
Thank you, Abigail.
So will you tell me more about yourself?
My name is Asgeree Dalvie. I'm an occupational therapist at St. Joseph's.
How is St. Joseph's for you?
St. Joseph's is a lovely place to work. It allows us many opportunities for children that have experienced a lot through illness or through disability. And it's a place where children come so that we can work through the process of rehabilitation for them and hopefully take them through that process of recovery and allow them to then be independent again and be able to go back to their homes and reintegrate back into the community. So it's a lovely place to work and a lovely place to meet other people, other children, and become part of everybody's lives there.
What is it like for you being an OT?
It's a very rewarding profession. I must say there are times where it can be very challenging, especially when you're dealing with cases that are quite complicated and there's a lot of sadness maybe attached to it, but there's also a lot of rewards and a lot of good things about it, especially when you're seeing your patient. You've walked that journey with that patient through their process of recovery and being able to see them integrate back into the community, back into their homes, back with their families. So that's quite rewarding.
What's it like being my OT?
Oh, it's definitely been a fun ride with you. And as you know, we've had our we've had our ups and downs, but more ups, I think, than downs. It's been a lovely experience working with you. You're a lovely girl that I can see there's a lot more that we can do together, and I think you've also enjoyed your sessions a lot with me, and likewise, I've learned from you, and I'm sure you've learned from me during those times.
Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Just to say that, to you, Abigail, just to perhaps keep dreaming and don't forget about what those goals are that you set out for yourself, and I wish you all the best going forward with whichever way your road goes, and I'm glad to have been part of your journey.
Thank you for coming to Arctic Radio.
It's a pleasure.
The things that make me happy is being at the radio, telling about my story, and being with people I never saw. I want to say my training, it feels like a family for me, and thank you so much for having me here. My favorite song is You're Beautiful Just the Way You Are. The singer is saying, you don't have to change anything about you, and you don't have to change nothing. You're beautiful just the way you are.